aquarium because I love aqua. Cool. So I will share right now my screen and we are going to start. And in the meantime, I am going to call my beautiful Nikki that you all love. And I am also going to call my beautiful Kande that also you all love. And also Memo that she'll be arriving at any point. The rest of the team, they have classes, so they cannot attend, but that's good. Like, because they need to learn and so on. So welcome to this day 3 of VICO, officially speaking and officially starting. We are going to have a working space. This first working space is going to be focused on the audit system itself, and we don't have one fuzzy or co-fuzzy. Every one on the AC team is going to be working here. That's why we have the logo of AC. Do you see? It's so beautiful. Nikki did it, and we want to make it in some hoodies. But that's it, and I will make you an alignment. So it's going to be a 90-minute session. It can be less, it won't be more, and this time depends on how we are going to work. So we are going to facilitate you some stuff. We need to work on certain deliverables. You will have deliverables by the end of the day and by the end of the month even. But it's up to you also how many questions do you ask. You are free to ask all the things that you want. You are free to ask all of the clarifications that you want. So this means that it's going to be kind of heavy. So please bring some snacks, bring some water, sit properly. I don't want you to have a back pain because you are working with audit. Please don't. But please keep Zoom on full screen while Nikki and I, we are mainly talking in the different rooms, but you can minimize it while you are working because you will have to be working and not in the Zoom. And since you are going to have to work and be on Zoom, once again, we recommend you preferably use a computer over a tablet. And this space is for you guys. The last session we were delivering some sessions and some content, but right now it's up to you. And this is the space where you are going to say, I achieved my goals and audit and I have everything settled. So yeah, everything is amazing. And please enjoy and be as participative as you want. So for this, we are going to have 2 session outlines. I know you all received a mail yesterday talking about bringing some stuff, and it's basically because we are going to have 2 different session outlines, and I am going to explain each one of them. The first one, it's going to be here in the main room. It's going to be with me, and it's going to be with Memo. He's one of the Europe auditors, and we are going to talk about the audit system basically and the entities with an audit minimum. So basically, you know that we have 80 as a point of certain things that each entity needs to achieve in order to have an audit system that is verified by ICB. So it's compliant. And that's what Memo and I, we are going to work on. But in the other breakout room where you are going to be with Nikki, also auditor from Europe, and Kande, auditor from Middle East Africa, you are going to talk about the system improvements. And by system improvement is, okay, we have milestones, that those are 3 milestones. But if you already have your milestones done, this is the space for you to open your heart. And Nikki and Kande, they love to take notes and they love to listen to you all. So you can give her opinions on how was your audit system, what were the difficulties of your audit system, how do you think that ICB needs to improve the audit system, what are the changes that you feel the compliance matrix needs to have. And we believe that you have a lot of things to say about the compliance matrix because a lot of compliance metrics have changed, and that is not good. So we want to hear what are those changes, and we can understand if those changes are feasible or not. So if you have you can work on your milestones. There are a checklist for you also, but this is the space also for have a conversation. And why are we having this space of system improvement in this milestone breakout room? It's because you already had your audit system running and you already achieved all of the minimum things that you had to achieve. So you know by experience the things that needs to be improved, the things that needs to be changed. So please attend to this space. If, as you can see, this space is mainly for the ECB chair, but I know that there are ECB teams here, and I love that. So what you can do is that if you want, you can split. Why? Because, for example, if you have your audit system legislated and it's not compliant, you will have to be working with me. because you need to reshape your ECD audit check, right? But if you have an educator here or you have another auditor and you already had a system running, this auditor or this chair, as you want to split, can go to the room where Nikki and Candy will be and can give feedbacks based on the experience that you had so far. So literally, this is a space that we have designed for you to have everything done, because we are already on, in which month? May. We are already in May. So this means that you have 1 month and a few days to have your system done. There won't be more delays for you to adjust a system. The first deadline was on December and it was not achieved. So now is the last one, and we are not going to give any more time. So work on your audit system, because this is a need for your entity. And you just hear our external, it's super relevant. And also the conversation that we had yesterday while talking with compliance metrics and everything, this is super, super important. So those are the session outlines that we have. And the last space that we are going to have in here is about the current situation. And it's connected with the things that I just said about the timeline. And it's that this is the current situation that we have right now. As you can see, we have 86 entities right now with an audit system. That's good. But what it's bad is that we only have 41% of entities with a system approved by ICB. This means that if we achieve in this way until the end of this month, the next month, well, this is not good for you. And I don't need to explain why this is not good, because we have been talking about this. Karina was talking about this since day one. So this is the space for you to work. For you to be approved by ICB, you need to have at least the minimum, right? So please work on them. We are going to have 1 hour and a half to 1 hour and 20 probably, because I talk a lot about this, but just enjoy this space, because this space, it's for you to work. So that's it. And we are going to split in this way. But first, this space is mandatory, because you are going to have mandatory deliverables for the rest of the month. And if you don't know what we are talking about here, maybe you are going to be a little bit lost. And even if your auditor is going to explain you, this space of 1 hour and a half won't be replaced by anything. So in this room right now where we are, we need to stay the entities that are still working on the minimums of the audit system. And if you don't know if you have the minimums or not, this means that you need to stay, because probably you don't have them. So if you don't have the minimums, or if you don't know if you have the minimums, please stay in this main room. And if you already have the extra miles achieved or working on them, you can move to the breakout room that I guess Candy already habilitated or not. She will do that very soon. And you can move in there. So that is basically everything that I have to say. I don't know if before going to the room, any of you has any question about how this space will work. Okay, so the breakout room is activated. I will give the space of 1 song for you all to move to the breakout room if you have to. If not, just stay here and the song will give us mood. Okay, so I will wait. I will share music.
Hey Lilo, but I'm not able to join the breakout room. But so like I clicked, but there is no the joining option. I don't know why.
Candy, can you help us here?
Yeah. Okay, honey. Jing, I'm just going to assign you.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's the same problem. Could you help me out too?
With who?
Yeah.
You cannot enter, guys. Like you have a button like down there that says like breakout room, then you go and you join. But if you cannot,
but
okay.
It's not active. Yeah, so we can really join it.
Okay, I'm gonna just assign you.
We have also Konstantinos and Diren. I'm sorry if I pronounced wrong. And Talha.
Am I missing somebody? Somebody who also couldn't enter?
Are you done with the
Ali?
Ali? and Diren. Or Diren. How do I pronounce your name, Diren? ECB chair.
You pronounced me correctly. It's Iran.
Diren. Thank you for teaching me how to pronounce your name. So now he joined, and Konstantinos is there. Talha is there. Yeah, we're all good. Thank you, Kande.
Yeah, we're all good. Guys, please remember that if you are not sure how much you achieve, you stay in this room. Okay, you stay here with Lilo. If not, you go to the other.
Cool. Okay, so I didn't play the song because we had questions and situations, but you can stay here, and we are going to start. Viola, you can take those 5 minutes. It's fine. Okay, so now I'm going to share screen. Is Memo here?
Hello.
Hello, Merito. How are you?
Fine, thanks. And you?
I'm good. We are all good. Thank you. So Memo, as you know, if you don't know, I will introduce him to you. He is the auditor of some entities of Europe, and he's from Mexico. He doesn't like spicy food. Weird him. Can you see my screen?
Sorry?
Can you all see my screen?
Uh,
Or no?
Not just your face.
That is beautiful. I know. Thank you. Wait, I will show again. Okay, guys. So I will give another alignment or more like expected outcomes after this call. And I am so happy that you all are here. Wait, Greece, you have 100, no?
We have an issue with the breakout room. They're gonna make it.
Yeah, we all came back.
We are going back.
Okay.
We had a problem with the breakout room. Yes.
Okay.
Can somebody open it? Yeah.
That's it. Everything's solved. Everybody can go back.
Okay. Oh, okay. I get it now.
Elevator music, please.
Yes. Okay. So
Okay.
now you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So I will align you with the expected outcomes after this space. And the first thing and the first outcome is that once again, this is your space. It's up to you how you use it. So I am expecting a lot of proactivity. You can ask as many questions as you want to me, to any of your auditors about anything, of course, related with the audit system. But at the end of the day, it's your work and it's your responsibility. So just to be aligned, you need to have an audit system done by May 15. This audit system can be that you are working on the system, but it's not with all of the minimums done. But by May 15, that is like more than 10 days, you need to have at least the basics. And by the end of the month, the system needs to be approved by ICB. It's not hard, believe me. Last term, I had one entity, I guess it was Peru, that they managed to have everything in 15 days. So as far as you are organized with your time and you ask all of the things that you want to ask, it will be fine. And once again, you have ICB here to have your back. And the thing that you will have done by today will be a clear action plan on the things that you have to do. You will have clear next steps because we are going to give you a gift with Memo and with all of the AC team. And you will understand how the process works. So we have the what, the how, the why, and everything. And just let's start. And to recap everything, we have some minimums for the audit system. The first thing is that the audit system or the audit as a process needs to be only performed by ECB team. ECB team can be only the ECB chair or ECB chair with ECB team or only the ECB team. But it's basically an entity control board responsibility to run the process of the audit. There is an option, and we are fully aware of how the entities are working so far. So, for example, some NSCs are doing the audit of EXPA, for example, or they are having the opportunities open and those kind of trackings, and it's okay. You don't have to start auditing that right now. What you need to do is, okay, if you are going to stay into this methodology of an MC auditing certain things or an EC or an NST auditing certain things, they need to give you a report of how the audit was and where were the findings. Why? Because the final person responsible in your entity to perform audit is ECB. And the person that is going to apply sanctions is ECB, nobody else. That's why you need to be super onboarded with the things that you have to do. The other thing that we have is audit all of the policy of the compliance matrix. If, for example, if you don't have GB running right now because reality or you deprioritize it or whatever, you don't know if in the future there won't be GB. So my advice for you will be, even if right now it will be mandatory for you to have this, try to start building it because you don't know when this is going to happen. So if you have it ready since the beginning, it will be amazing. Also, because your entity already will have guidelines on how to proceed with certain procedures about these products. This also happens with Partly Remote. If you don't have Partly Remote running right now, it still is good for your entity to understand at least what is this, and for you as CCB chair to understand if you decide to run Partly Remote, what are the consequences if something goes wrong, or what are the minimum things that you need to do. And also, you will be the final responsible to apply sanctions to your entity. Of course, everything is based on the compliance matrix. The next part that we have is create an ECB audit check. The ECB audit check, it's basically the compliance matrix that it's adjusted to national reality. And this was Nikki was explaining yesterday, the things that you can do, the things that you cannot do. And basically it is that, and yes, it's mandatory. And actually, if you have an ECB audit check, you already have all of the policies of the compliance matrix, and you already know who performs each process of audit inside your entity. And then you need to audit at least 4 times per year. According to your reality, you can choose if it will be 1 per year, 2, you cannot choose if it will be 1 per year, sorry. It will be 1 per quarter, 2 per quarter, or whatever. I am aware of entities that they are auditing weekly, bi-weekly, and then monthly. You can decide if you go weekly by weekly, monthly by monthly, but at least you need to audit quarterly. And also, it's important for you to perform audit with regularity because you will have to report those results to ICB in the ECB audit report. And once again, remember the session that I gave yesterday with Nikki, this is the main source that we have to decide which entities are we going to audit or not. And here I have the dates for the quarters or when you have to fill the ECB audit report. And not the last 2, but the next 2 is that you need to provide reports to your plenary, your MCPs and your LCPs at least per semester. I highly recommend you to do it monthly and not just about auditing, but also about, hey, we handled these cases about this thing in this month. We rake this amount of realizations or approves or completes or finish or whatever. So your MC first understand what your MC and your plenary first understand what is happening with the ECB. Second, they get to know what is that the ECB team is doing. And we all know that the engagement that we are having with the entities is not the best one right now. And one of the reasons that that is happening is because they are not getting a fully understanding on what are the things that you need to do as ECB, so they don't see the relevance. If you start sending reports about everything that you are doing, this will be even good for you and for your pipeline. Then we have information management system. The first thing here is understand what is GDPR. Because the data that you analyze or that you audit in the audit process, it's very sensitive. So take care that you know what is at least what is GDPR, that you know the principles. There are some principles for GDPR. And once you have that clear, you need to have a tracking tool and you need to have a storage tool. This will be good for the storage tool because you get all of the proofs in there and you know what to evaluate. But the tracking tool, you can start getting to know what documentation is missing. So for example, you all need to audit all of your entities, all of your LCs and everything that is happening inside your entity. So, oh, I am going to audit certain entity and they delivered this already, or this is missing, or they failed this. It's also a control that you should have about your audit. And that's it. So what we did with the AC team for you to have clarity and to have clear next steps, because I know this information can be very wide, is that we created a checklist. A checklist for the minimums. So what we will do in this space is that you are all going to go to a folder and you are going to duplicate this checklist. It's only one checklist. It has the minimums and it has the extra miles. You are going to focus in the part of the minimums. And please do not have it in any other folder. Please try to have it in the folder that the document, the current document is right now, and name it as your entity. Therefore, you can have an easier connection with your auditor, and it will be easier for us as ICB to keep a check on it and to say, yes, this can be approved, or no, what is happening with this? And if something needs to be changed, then we know at least what is happening with your entity, and that's it. Please share this template with your MC, because there are some things that involved in there, and you can ask me or ask your editor, not just right now, but during the process of this month and anytime, for a consultancy, for a call, or if you don't understand something, it's totally understandable. So let us know how we can help you with, and of course keep your auditor updated on the thing. I will share here I will share this link here on the chat. Wait, and I also will send it in the delegates group how this is going to work. So far I sent it here. In a minute I will send it in there, but I will show you this tool that we have here, and I will name it as template. So I will explain how this works. I will zoom in a little bit. I am blind. I don't know you, but not even my glasses works. So basically what I did is that I map out all of the minimums and the main steps or the main action plan that you should follow to achieve all of that. So for example, audits must only be performed by ECB team. So you mark only ECB chair audits or only ECB team audits, it's fine. Or if the NST audits and provide detailed reports to the ECB of the audit process, same goes for MC. If you have this mark, then you can think that your audit is only performed by ECB. If you have an option of audit that is none of these four, then it's not. And you need to adjust whatever you have in your entity to be or the ECB chair, or you're receiving detailed reports on how this thing works. Then audit all of the policy of the compliance matrix. I did it section by section that we have. And I also added the sanctions defined for violation severity level 5. So this is pretty clear in the ECB audit check that you have to downscale your entity. Then to create an ECB audit check, what I did is I broke the section and I broke it in the 3 things that you can do with this document. The first thing is, what is the ECB audit check? Remember that this ECB audit check is when you decide when a violation becomes sanctionable. So it's not the same if you have 10 EP and only the issue happens to 1. If it happens to 1, yes, it's a violation, but it's not applicable to the rest of the entity. So you can decide when this is happening. Can be only with 1, can be with 3, can be with 50%, 60%. This choice is up to you. The other thing that you can edit, it's applicable to, are you going to audit this for your MC, for your LCPs, OGX, for your community managers? Who is responsible to provide the answers of this audit? And the last part is, indeed, you cannot edit violations and you cannot delete violations, but you can add violations. The thing with the new violations is that they should be approved by the plenary. The ones that we have now, they don't have to, because they are already global legislated. And I did this with all of the sections, so it's easier for you to understand what is missing. And then we have audit a minimum of 4 times per year. So I should, every week, oh my God. So we have it weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, or quarterly. If your choice is none of them, then it's wrong, because it needs to happen at least 1 time per quarter, so 1 time every 3 months. and then provide semesterly reports to the LCPs. If it will happen monthly, when it's going to happen. It's not, oh, it will happen sometime in January. No, all of the reports, this is an advice and it's really good for you if you follow it. All of the reports should be sent on 10 of each month, or on 10th of every 2 months, on 10th of every 3 months, or of 10th of every 6 months. The lowest frequency you can send it according to APAP, it's semesterly. So you can start monthly or you can have it semesterly. And the other thing is if you have the template done, some of you use the template of your MCs, it's okay, just add your logo. Some of you use your own ECB template, it's okay. Just when I mean template, it's not about the graphic design, it's about the sections that you are going to have. If you want, we can go to the ICB website and there we have a template for you. That are the minimum things that this report should cover, and you can adjust it as you want. Remember that everything that at least AC downscale is should include, but not limited to. So you can add as many things as you want, but the list is already in there. And last part is create an information management system. So here you have the 3 points. The first one is understand GDPR. Do not create or think about creating a system if you don't understand at least what is GDPR. So go for it, and then you can think about your tracking tool and you can think about your storage tool. Remember that the information that you will be handling is sensitive because you are going to start with passports until when someone will arrive to your country. So take care of how you are handling this data. And so you can go here, you can duplicate the folder that I just sent in your chat, and we can start having this creation space. If you want, I can play some music. If you want, you can ask as many things as you want, and we can have these conversations while you are doing things. I really would like, if my computer don't dies, I really would like for us to have a conversation to see how we can support each other in this creation. But remember that still, if like today, the minimums are already achieved because you know what to do, you know when you have to do it, and you already know how to do it. So work on this and remember that this should be at least partly done by May 15, and it should be fully done by the last day of May. So I am all ears. I will be bringing my charger that is in the other side of the table, but I will be listening to you. And Viola, you can go.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So I would ask if there's an opportunity to see maybe a proper working audit tracker, which needs to be filled by the ASIS to broadcast the data for ECB in terms of compliance auditing. So if you can see an effective and easy example, I think that could be really good first to visualize what we need to have in order to fulfill the criteria from ECB side.
Cool. Yes, we do have the ICB website. Yes, this is good because we are going in this process together. So you need to go to International Control Board, and there you have some materials. And we have, if I am not wrong, one that can talk to you about the process of the audit process itself. So you go to materials, and you go to audit and compliance. Here, you have some trackers that we created with the team. They are updated for ICB Aqua. And if you see, one of them is the audit tracker. So if you go to access the sheet, you can make a copy, make your own LC copy per month. So you can adjust yours, you can make your logos, and you can have everything. And here you will have a very detailed way on how this should work. You even have the formulas, you have the spaces to write the ECB chair. For operations performance, we have another boxes, and then we have per product and per section. So this is like a draft that we have for you all. It's in the website, and you can access to this, you can duplicate it, and you can adjust it as you want.
Yes, and this is the thing that we should share with the LCs to also feel it, or this is for us to track LC's performance mostly, and we should create a more easier way for them to transmit data or share data. Yeah.
I think that this is up to you. I will tell you how we do it when we are auditing ICP. We only have one tool, that is this, like not this tool, but we have our audit tool. And in there, we are requesting for the entities to provide the information, if it's operative, if it's non-operative, and we have our own tracker in there. So we just say, oh, it's approved, it's not approved. And we keep everything together so they also know kinda how is their performance. You can follow this idea where you have everything centralized, or you can have another one that is separate for your entity.
Okay, Lilo, can I ask something?
Yeah, but wait, because Viola raised the hand before, and
Yeah, okay.
yes, you can go after general, and then Sirin can go.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
So yeah, just to make sure. So if we choose to implement this kind of tracker for the LCs and we ask them to fill all data in each of section, then it's still okay, because then we can have the kind of same data that we are checking in ECP and also the same data from local committee's side, which is shared towards us.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have this one, you can have this one, and you can implement it. My advice for you is, this is including everything. This will be somehow an ideal tool, but it depends on your reality. Because, for example, if you are not running a lot of things, or your system will be more demanding or less demanding, then you should adjust it to how your entity is working. You can adjust this, but also you can decide another one, and it's fine. The thing is that you need to understand how your tracker will work, and that your entity knows how they need to use this tracker, because if not, it will be pointless.
Cool. Because just to clarify that we are relying this kind of tracker for the SEs as well, and we ask them to fill it. And monthly we are having consultancy spaces when with the ECP coaches they are having a space and they are reflecting on the result, and they are finishing the feeling, but the result feeling together, and see what is the current state in the SE and what could be the next steps for the next month. So in this case, then we are doing fine, if I understand well.
Yes, yeah, but remember that this needs to be monthly. So you need to make a new copy every month. So maybe you will have to make a folder.
We already did it in a different way, because firstly we did it monthly, but after the third month, now we just presented on the national conference a dynamic sheet, and it will work dynamic month to month, and basically we will close each columns which will be filled until the monthly deadline, and after that LCs cannot modify this data row and the table.
Okay, yeah, it works.
Cool, thank you.
Anytime, honey. Now let's go with general. You had a question, right?
Yes. So I was checking the ECB tracker for how much have we fulfilled from the minimums. From last month, I think I presented everything, but I checked it right now, and it shows that I still haven't matched 80%, even though for the audit system, it was approved by Candy. I was talking to her, approved by her for the tracker, and everything is present, but I don't know, it's not checked there. So I just wanted to have an idea about it.
Do you mean this?
Yes, this one, yeah.
Okay, and you say that can they approve it?
Yeah, for the audit system, it's it's there. It's she has access to it and everything. Even the coach, I shared everything with them, because everything I was doing, I was always going back to them, asking for for a feedback in some cases, to just make sure everything is going right. The thing is that before my term, there was no ECB, and everything is completely new. So I don't know if these are filled before I was the ECB chair, or these are filled after I got there, after I got the ECB chair. But like for example, the ECB audit check. The ECB audit check is there, and I have it, and I've been working on it for the past 2 months, and it's already approved. And like, not sure, like I've shared everything with audit and compliance, like with Candy. Like I always talk to her on the sidelines on Telegram, and like ask her for her opinion and some stuff. It's like, but here it's shown that I still have less than 80%. So like I want to know if there is something that I didn't do, something that I might have missed. But according to this here, I should have have it. So if you can explain a little bit.
So it shows here that you have some things missing, like, and you already mentioned them, the ECB audit check, the 4 times per year, and the template for the semesterly report. What you said, Hande, was the ECB audit check, right?
Yes, she has access to it as well.
Okay, and she gave you any feedback or something, or no yet?
Actually, for the ECB audit check, it is the same as the ICB template. So I use the same one. So it's already the same one, but it's just like match the reality of Isaac in Lebanon. So that's one. And for other templates, actually, I've gotten everything from ICB.
Okay, that's good, because our templates works. I just have a question. Did you create or edit or change anything for violation severity level and type of risk, or no?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Okay, then I think the issue is that Kande was working with VICO and she forgot to mark it. I will also ask her to verify this with me, because if she has access, then she can check it. And for the audit for minimum 4 times per year, how is your audit periodicity?
For the minimums of 4 times per year, that is absolutely done. Actually, my term is just for 6 months. It's not more than that. So so in the first 3 months, I was doing it per month. I was doing monthly. But after reviewing the stats and the reality in Lebanon, I checked I'm gonna change it for in these 3 months that are going to come. I will be doing it just once at the end of at the end of my term. I don't know if that is completely allowed or not exactly. I wanted to ask about it as well.
Okay, so about this, your term is 6 months. I have a question. Is the audit system legislated in Lebanon or not yet?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and there it says, what is the periodicity? It is monthly, it is bi-monthly, or is quarterly?
Yes, as legislated, I did it as monthly, yeah.
Okay, in that case, you should follow monthly, because it's already in your legal books.
Okay, yeah, right. I have to if I want to change it, I have to go back to the compendium and change that. Yeah. So no worries. Yeah. Okay.
So
and just a follow-up question. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I was saying that for that, I will keep it monthly, because it's what you have legislated for the moment. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now you can.
As a follow-up question to that, on the template that you sent for the audit check, not audit check, the audit system that is sent by the ICB, the template from ICB, the one that you showed like a while ago.
This?
Yes, the audit tracker. Yes, this one. I was doing something with this one, like it matched the reality and everything. What I did here, because let's say in Lebanon we don't have IGT, we have only IGV, and for the audit proofs that needs to be submitted by from the LCs, I gave access from just the what's called the cells that they can audit. They have access to just cells that they can submit the proofs. So I don't know if that is allowed or not, but they have only access to a few cells that they can submit their proofs for, and nothing else.
Look, the thing with the tracking system for this audit is it doesn't, if you run your only IGV, then you should audit only IGV. That's fine. You don't need to work with other things for the moment. And about the proofs that they need to submit, just that they prove that the violation didn't happen to you, it's enough. It doesn't matter how many sales they can edit or not. As far as they are able to give you a link, the proof, or the proof itself, then it's okay.
Yes, exactly. No, like everything is has a proof for it and everything. If they are submitting anything, I just require a proof for like everything, every single detail that I can think of, or like I have sent to them that I need proof for. They are sending it with links, with screenshots, like everything on the storing tool. It's just like I wanted to know if it's allowed for them to access this sheet and edit it. Like let's say there is a link. Okay, let's say can they go in there and change the link or not? Just that in the section that they can edit. Like if you can go a little bit in the right, let's say for OGV or like IGV. Yeah,
IGV.
yeah. Okay, so here there is something called audit proofs, LC proofs from the LC. So here, like I gave access to them to edit just this one from the LC. Like everything that has LC on it, they have access to it and edit it. Anything else, they don't.
It's fine because it's the proof that they have to submit to you. If
Yeah,
the other,
okay.
if you can verify that, for example, the contract was signed before the open, or that the contract was reviewed by a lawyer, and you have the means to check that, then it's fine.
Yes. Like everything, I review everything. Like it's not just like I leave them be because I have to check it either ways. So just as a legal standing, is it okay with ICB that they are doing this? Okay.
Yes. Okay, look, what matters to ICB, it's okay. You are not to the ICB, not, but to ICB audit system, is as far as you are able to audit, it's okay. If some proofs will be delivered by ICB, by the entity, cool. If some of them are cross-checked by ECB, cool. But as far as you understand what is happening with your entity, then it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. You're welcome. Now it goes. I will check, Mitch. Now let's go with Viola. You have another 2 questions, I think.
Yes, but it came to 3. And yeah, the first question would be if we realize that we would like to do a kind of overhaul of the implemented system, also on the compliance part, and also we would like to focus more on the quality part. Why? Because of why we would like to still keep the exchange standards part, like a kind of separated. And basically the question would be if we can have the opportunity to, after we are getting this month, 5th is the deadline for the April compliance audit sharing, then after that, can we close the auditing system for like 1.5 week, and to clarify that we are doing some changes in the system and we are overhauling a little the system to make more easier for them. And after that, it will continue. So can we do this or no? Because compliance matrix is something that needs to happen. If we choose monthly, then monthly. If we choose quarterly, then quarterly. But basically, we are working in a hybrid system, in a mixed system. So can we have this opportunity? Can we stop for 1 week? Like the audit procedure we implemented, just to post the updated and the new one after that.
Okay, the thing is that, once again, why you want to stop the process? To adjust a new one?
Because, yeah, adjust a new one, just update the system, which is already working, but not that proper. From SE side, we got a lot of feedbacks that somehow we should make it more easier. And now we have the kind of solution, which will be consulted with MCVP operations as well. And after that, we would like to implement the updated system to be used and replace the old one. So I don't know how we can manage this to happen.
Indeed, you can take a break of this, but once the system is fully running again, like the new one, you will have to audit that month anyway, and they will have to provide you the proof. So yeah,
definitely. Definitely, thank you. The second question would be that in a lot of European countries, the change management is happening in terms of global volunteer, and also as well in Hungary, global volunteer will be stopped and will be replaced with EVA initiatives. So we will do EVA as the new product, kind of new product in ISAC in Hungary. And basically my question would be that if there is this change management, what documents needs to be provided from global volunteers side? Because basically what I think, and I checked, that there should be proofs from all parties, like OPs from EPs and from hosting or sending entity. Still, if we are just talking about breaking approvals, but that's why I'm having this as a question, because in terms of compliance audit, I believe that we should have proofs about if the OP being if towards the OP being communicated that we will no longer run global volunteer. Also the same for the EPs, and yeah, also the same for hosting or sending entity. It depends on.
I was muted, sorry. Okay, so the thing with IWA is that indeed they are part of the portfolio, but it's not like you can take an EP to go on exchange of IWA. For example, this cannot happen. If you are not going to run GV anymore, then it's fine. You don't need to audit GV anymore because you don't have it, so it makes no sense to have it. And for IWA, you should follow the guidelines that we have right now for IWA. So for example, right now in the compliance matrix, we have 4 that are connected with Blue Book, that are teams of IWA that are written in the APIP. We have no call to actions for ELD products. If you are not going to run GV, then those call to actions should be for GTA and GTE. And you need to report all the things that you are doing to SOGA and to GTE. Those are the things that you need to take into consideration while doing IWA. And that's it.
And if they would plan to run AVA and to have some like initiative projects, like I don't know, like some kind of projects that can connect to EVA action. But you said that the call to action needs to refer to the running products, which is GTE in this case. So can you imagine that this can work, or no? It's like, because also we are having this problem that we cannot understand exactly what are the plans, and also like what they would like to do with it. But I believe that in the end we will need to make some new rules in terms of EVA if they can implement what they would like to. But I think they will need an acceptance from regional office or something like this, so they cannot just start in medias res, let's say.
Okay, the thing with IWA and the activities is that what we have in the compliance metrics right now, it says no call to actions for ELD product. The ELD products are GV, GTA, and GTE. Coming and going. So that's why I say that can go for GTA, GTE, based that you say that there is no GV. Besides that, I don't know what call to action they can have for another thing, because, for example, the other part of the portfolio will be for LLC, but you cannot be alumni without being a member, for example. So that is how it works. If there is, I know that right now AI has launched some things about IWA. They all have their internal guidelines. So everything that you do should follow what it's reading, like the principles, the minimums, the criteria that basically are things that are already launched, and following what it says in the global compendium about IWA. For example, the teams. If any activity that you are aiming to do or your entity is aiming to do about IWA should be connected with those 4 themes. I don't remember fully what are the 4 themes right now, but I know there are 4, and I know that they are writing in the APIP. So everything that you do needs to be aligned with that.
Yes. It totally makes sense. And yeah, I checked the same part of APIP. The other part of the question, back to global volunteer. So if they decide to not run anymore global volunteer, in this case, is it enough from MC side only to mark the question in SOGA that they are not running, and that's all? We can break all approvals without any proof, or no, we need to have proof from all parties, because the product will not run anymore, and all parties need to be acknowledged that for example, EPs won't have any opportunity in Hungary. They won't come to Hungary anymore. So they need to reapprove to somewhere else, for example, but they need to manage this there with a sending entity in terms of IGV, or how it can proper work, because from SC side, we were asking to attach all proofs, because we will close the department. We need to know if everybody acknowledged that we won't have any global volunteer for a while. And is it okay, a process like this, or we don't need all proofs from all parties? What do you think?
This thing that you are saying has two answers. The first one connected with audit, and the second one connected with for audit. I can
sorry, the second one
connected.
The second one connected with
the CS team.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the audit part, you still need to audit those approves and those realizations for whatever stage the EPs are. And if you want to proceed with any breaking, you need to audit that the breaking was done in the correct way. And for all the proofs and the specific cases that you have about partners or whatever, you should reach CS team, and they can give you the accurate guidance on how to proceed for each specific case, if it should require reimbursement or not, if you need to allocate the EPs or not, or what are the specifically necessary steps that you will have to take as CCV.
Cool, great, thank you very much. And then the last question, I think we'd have the same answer. Like, if there's an SE who basically already not running global volunteers since 1st of February, because in the term changes, they wasn't electing any SEVP IGV or OGV. In this case, should they still have those GV related opportunities? And now they can manage in the change management to break all of those exchanges, because I rejected them back at that time to say that we need a contract where opportunity providers and EPs are allocated to another SC who will have the right to run those projects and also to communicate with the EPs, as this SC, who I mentioned first, is not having any product head on this area. So this question will go to CS as well?
Yes, same
yes.
answer.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Dirin, sorry, you were after General. You can go now.
Hi. So actually, I basically have almost all the minimums, just missing the template for the semesterly report. But my issue is not really concerning that. It's more the problem is that we are not running any operations whatsoever. So we are sending the templates for the LCs to fill, but they're not really doing so because they don't have any information to fill. Since basically ISEC is kind of stopped, they don't have anything. I kept doing that for auditing for 3-4 months, every time sending them the same information, and I didn't really know what to do about that.
Okay, I get it. So you don't have realizations, approves, nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. Do you know if your entity is doing EWA activities or LLC activities?
No, they are not either, because the restrictions currently have no gatherings, nothing. So even EWA is stopped.
Yeah, but for example, one thing that you can do is that you can bring to the table that those activities for EWA and LLC, they can be done virtually. And if they start to doing this, you can start reporting how, or the violations, the things that didn't happen while doing this, are happening in your entity. So for example, we deliver a certain amount of activities, and as ECB, we audited that they were all the teams of EWA, that they were all connected with ELD products in the future, and things like that. Those are things that you can do in the case that you don't have any operations happening right now.
Okay, but can I my problem is that when they find that they don't have any operations, even if there is, for example, the safety guidelines to fill, they are not responsive, because they feel the template is huge and there's so much information, but they don't have anything to fill. So they keep sending them back empty to me, even though there might be a few things they might add. So my question is can I change it, send them only stuff, for example, for EWA and for I don't know, safety guidelines, there are like very few things that they can fill without having operations.
Yes, you can adjust this report in the things that ECB is doing right now. If they are not doing certain things because they don't have operations or something, there is no point in sending them like that. And it's also affecting you and affecting your team. So you can indeed adjust it to the things that you are doing right now for the semesterly report.
Okay, great. One more thing I wanted to know about is concerning the implementation of GDPR. So can you like give me more details, please?
Sure. GDPR is something, it's data regulation. I don't remember GDPR.
Yeah, actually, I know what it is. I just don't really know how to implement it to the entity.
Okay, then I will give you some examples of when you can implement this. For example, if you are going to conduct an audit and you are going to make interviews, you can give a non-disclosure agreement saying that all the information that you are going to have in that interview will remain only for audit purposes. Or for example, if you are facing, I don't know, let's say some quality case or some ethical case that you are part of because it involves an EP, then it can say that everything will be remained on the audit purpose. You can also make sure who has access to your tracking tools and who has access to your storage tool, so the data won't be like flying around and be spreading around, and it will be only the people that needs to audit, the ones that are accessing to this information. It's basically making sure that the data is well protected. And the thing is that as ECB, we use a lot emails and a lot of screenshots and a lot of those things, and we need to have the permission to use this information actually. So make sure that everything is good saved, that I don't know, for example, when you have EPs again, that for example, the flight tickets are not flying around. It's only the person responsible for the pickup or the people that's involved in the experience aware of when and time and flight number or train number or whatever when the CP is arriving.
Okay, so actually we're already doing this, but do we need to have it in writing? Like, do we need to, for example, I'm gonna have an interview with someone before I send them like something to sign, or is it just as long as I write it in the email and explain that it's confidential, that's it?
Ideally it will be like a letter, but I think that you can have it as mail and explaining these things that we are saying, like the purposes, and asking that if you agree with this, please reply that you agree or something like that. So we have agreed and mutual agreement that the things that are going to be talked are only for certain purposes and it will be only in the knowledge of certain people.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Anytime. Okay, guys, any other question? How are you doing with the checklist? Did you all duplicate it? Or how are you doing?
Can I have maybe one more question from her?
Sure. So.
Yeah, the last question would be, do we need to make a different tracker for MC, for compliance tracker, or can it be the same as for local committees? And also, do we need to ask MC to provide compliance audit data, so proofs and etc., or they should share with us? So how is it working properly, this kind of proofing? Because some of the documents is available at MC.
Okay. Let's say, if you still have the same tracker for your MC and your entity, this is up to you. So if you want to have them together, then it's fine. If you don't, then you don't have to. It's literally your choice. I think you need to take two perspectives. The first one is how your team will be more effective if they have it separate, if they have it together, and also the type of data that you are handling. But I guess both scenarios are okay. And for the second question, I lost it. What was it?
The second question would be how this audit sharing should work proper. Like, do we need to send reminders for member committee as well that you need to fill audit, and also please attach EP data from the audit period, or they are already aligning this on the weekly ICB chair MCP calls, or yeah, what we need to do about the management.
Okay. I think that you can email them for your information. It's fine. It's like the way that works better with your MC. The thing that you need to take into consideration is that they need to know in advance what they need to provide. And therefore, what are the requirements, or the more like the consequences of not delivering something a certain time. So I think that that is something that you should take into consideration while deciding this. But it's like purely how is your relationship with your MC, like the way you can map out these things.
Yeah, totally. Thank you very much.
Ooh. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a small question. It's not that big a deal, but concerning one of the proofs is related to email threads. So it's really hard to get an email thread to get it posted or like submit it as a proof, unless you do like a full screenshot of the email and then you put it, or like you copy the whole email, you download it, put it on a Word, then upload it. Is there like something else rather than an email thread that we can use that is much simpler than that? Because this takes a lot of time to do, especially for multiple emails, and we have a lot of emails that we need to send to each EP. Like there is a whole process behind that. So like, is there an easier way to do that?
The thing is, this is also up to you. Like, look, for example, if we have a violation, right? And as what I always say to my auditors is, it doesn't matter which document they provide to you as far as they can prove to you that this violation didn't happen.
Okay,
so
but like,
yeah, tell me.
Okay, so the thing is, if we need like one of the proofs that was suggested by the ICB was for this to be as an email thread. So I was not sure about it, whether to put it as an email thread or put it as screenshot. But like I was going over the compliance matrix and I saw that it's better to be as an email thread, like to have a direct link for it. So it was a little bit complicated to do that, even though as a screenshot, like it shows who sent it to who it got sent. It shows everything about it and everything related. So it was a much easier process to do. But like because of I was uncertain of the ICB regulations about it, if whether like as a type of proof, whether it should be as email thread or it should be as screenshot. I kept it as it is, as an email thread. So it doesn't matter actually for you. Like it doesn't matter like right now. Although I have to go back to the compendium and I have to change that because it was legislated as well.
Well,
like
the
everything
thing
was
about
done.
email thread is that please don't do screenshots because they will take a lot of time, literally. What you can do is that you can download a PDF version of your email. I don't know if you know how to do this. Okay, I will explain. And this is so easy. Like, but wait.
Yeah. Okay.
Open my
yeah, this would be much easier, like going for the full road.
Yeah.
By the way, just a suggestion.
This is what
from Hungary.
Go.
Can I have a suggestion from Hungary? Yeah, we are dealing with the same kind of problems that basically sometimes the people doesn't know that how they should fill this kind of task. And for this, we are using a lot of YouTube videos, because everything you can find on YouTube and you can just attach the video that how you can, like, for example, download download a mail as a PDF, also how you can rename batch rename files and this kind of things. So I'm highly suggesting for you to use YouTube, because you can find already a lot of useful contents there.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
I will explain you how you can make a PDF of your email, and you can also explain to your entity, and please don't do a screenshot, to take a lot of time. So you have your email here, right? And you need to go as if you were about to print it. And wait, it automatically gives you the print. Yeah. So you just need to save it as PDF, and that's it. And you can type it. I don't know. We can have it as trial. And let's put it into the desktop so we can see it after. It should appear on those notes. But yeah, that's how you do it. You just need
Okay.
to put it as you were going to print it, and you save it as PDF. And you can do this on any type. Like if you have Windows, you can do it in Windows. Actually, I learned that trick from Windows when I was using Windows before, and that's fine. Let's see, and it's literally a PDF.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There is any other question, guys? We still have like 20 minutes, I think. 20 minutes, yes.
Yeah. I have a question, but it's not related to proofs or anything. Changing a little bit. So, so this one is related to remote criteria.
Mm-hmm.
In the APIP, doesn't talk a lot about full remote. Like as far as I understood from it, it covers partly remote. So like, is there something called pilot tests in the compliance matrix, or like in the APIP? Is there something related to that? And does LCs need to run this in order to be able to send people to go for full remote opportunities, or not related?
Okay, the thing is that, wait, I need to close. That is my phone, I'm so sorry. Good.
No worries.
There is a difference between fully remote and partly remote.
Yeah.
And I think you are referring to the partly remote, because for VPP right now we don't have guidelines on how to audit. And the partly remote project cannot be fully remote. If by some reason it needs to be fully remote, it needs to be break realization. So that is the first thing that you need to be aligned with. We have something about that in the here remote criteria. Yeah. So for example, offer remote feature for more than 50% of the duration. If they are having more than half, then it should be breaking, because there is no way for a partly remote opportunity to be fully remote. And this is something that you need to take care while auditing. Because if you are auditing GT, you need to take care that there is a remote date, like the customer flow, or the customer flow for remote is the AP gets accepted, the AP gets approved, and then the AP gets remote. Remote is a new status that we have only when it's virtually remote. Then the AP will be realized, and it's a normalization. So we have remote, then we have realized, and then we have finished. So you need to check that the dates for remote are the same. No, the dates for the realization are the same as the ones that the AP has in the flight ticket.
Okay.
If the AP is not going to travel, then you should break that remote.
Okay, and if the opportunity from the beginning is full remote?
If the opportunity for the beginning is fully remote, this means it's a pilot for the VPP. And I don't know if it's Lebanon. I don't know, honestly. It's a pilot from for VPP, that it's the fully remote opportunity that they use a different website. It's not week, it's not X weeks. And we don't have guidelines to audit that yet, because it's just a pilot. But for partly remote, for GT, for GV, there is no way for it to be fully remote.
Yeah, okay. I'm asking this because we have a potential EP to go for such an opportunity, but as in Lebanon, we have never run anything related to that, and I have no information for full opportunity, full remote opportunities. So yeah. So in case we want to run that, in case we want to send someone for full remote, what basics do we need to follow? Or like, I don't want you to give me full guidelines, but because there is some LCs that are running it, so why not, if we can benefit from that, why can't we? Like I would like to have some information about that, so like our LC can do it.
This BPP, it's a pilot that AI is running right now. And what your MC needs to do is your MC IGT, I think, or like anyone that is incoming, they should reach Connie from AI. and she can give you the explanation, because when partly remote, when BPP was offered, it was offered to all of the entities, and only few decided to apply to be pilot, and only few passed the selection, presented somehow to be pilot, and that's the way that it's working. So it should talk with, or your MCP. I think it will be your MCP, because it's a whole different product. It's not part of the ELD portfolio. Your MCP should talk with Connie from AI, that is the MVP responsible, and she can give you the next steps.
Oh, okay, okay, perfect. Thank you.
Cool. Do we have any other question about anything? If you are implementing also your audit system, I will share a tool. I will share in my screen, but it's the same tool that you all have access. That is the master tracker, and it's maybe it will help you mapping out what are the proofs that you can use. This tool is the ECB's local audit master tracker. So you all have access to this tool. And this tool here, we have the ECB audit state. That is what the thing that I was talking with General a few moments ago about the minimums and the extra miles and the missing things. But also one thing that is good is the violation identification. So in here, you have all of the sections. For example, we have here IWA, and we have the violation. And in here, we have how you can prove that. So this is something that you can use as ECB to understand how you can prove a violation, like how you can prove that a violation, didn't happen. And also your entities can check how they can prove something. And it is for all of the sections. So we have EGO, we have remote criteria, we have LLC principles. And I think this is a very good asset for you if you are implementing it now, because maybe you are confused on how I can audit all of the violations that are more like are around 300. So here you have one by one with how they can prove it. Here we have a document check, that it's checking documents, or it's expa check, or the YOP check. We have interview, that it will be you as an interviewers or your team. You have both, that is document check plus interview, or if it's, for example, ECB audit or ICB audit, that are things that you already know and you can control, so you don't need the entity to provide you the answers to that. Yes, and that's it. Here also in the website, you can find a lot of tools that you can use. For example, we have the audit tracker, that is this one that we have been talking for a while. You also have a compliance matrix template, that it's basically the template of the ECB audit check. No, it's not. Wait. Wait. Oh, this is a document that we did for you to identify. I guess I will send you this because this is super important, and I will send it to you here to the chat so you can have it saved. And it's basically the document that I just showed you before, but better structured for you as ECBs. So you have the explanation of the audit proofs ICB has mapped and all of the violations with recommended audit proofs to use to identify them, divided per tabs on the compliance matrix. And again, it's the same, but this is only for that, so you don't get confused on the other tool. We have the ICB audit tracker implementation. This is not a sheet. This is a slides. Yes, it's a local audit guideline, so it will help you to understand after IC with the main changes, because not many things change after that, how you can implement the audit in your entity. So we have here all of the minimums. We have here like a lot of different things, and you can access to all, like I am sending you the links, but you can access to all only in the website. Everything is there. Literally, as AC, we don't use any tool. We don't use any tool that it's not in here, like the internal tool that when we are tracking the other entities, we don't share that one, but the rest is here. If you want to conduct interviews and if you don't know how to conduct it, then we also have a guideline on how to conduct interviews. There is a template of the ECB audit report that you can provide to them. There is also a standard tracker. You know that not tracking standards violation level 5. So use this, and no more than download it and adjust it, use it, make sure your entity knows how this one works. There is a booklet explaining how the compliance matrix works. This is a tool that it was mistakenly linked. And the audit documents, there are some things that are not easy to audit. For example, IPS. So here we gave you some things that you can audit in a better way. Wait, because it's loading. So we gave you how you can audit the JD, how you can audit the IPS, the OPS, with ISEC Home, and also the personal goal setting output. That is one of the standards, and not all of entities have it. So here there are some templates, and you should click on them, and it's the document. So you can duplicate it or you can adjust it. You can put your entity's logo, you can put your your ECB identity, doesn't matter. And yeah, it is for all of these three things. So the JD form, and here, this is really good because with these documents, you can map out more than one violation. For example, with the JD form, you can identify the duration. So you can have the real date, if it's different or not than the one that you have on EXPA. You have the working hours, you have the JD itself, and you have the duration. And if we go in here, you can duplicate it, so it's fine. And it's literally this document, and it needs to be filled in the middle or during the exchange, not in the beginning. So you have the date and you have this per product. You have GTA, you have GTE, and you have GV, and how many hours were you working, and they give them an average. The JD of your experience is one that they applied for, and it has these tricky questions that can help you to audit everything easily. So make sure that your entities are aware that we have these documents. If you see, if like settle an audit system, it's super easy because you have all the materials, you have everything. If you don't know how to do something, it's in the website. If it's not in the website, as your auditor, of course after VICO, because right now we are running with VICO, but you have everything in here. So just use all of the tools. Here, if you feel like it's not clear and you want to have a consultancy space, in the bottom of the website, and this is also for all of the areas, you can request and you can suggest a date. And this arrives to my mail. So I let my auditors know that you have requested a space to talk about that. So literally you have all of the things that you want. Remember, I'm back into the session, that you have this timeline, and it's that by May 15, this system should be working. By May 30, it should be approved by ICB. How is approved by ICB? You send them everything to your auditor, and the auditor audits, but it's not going to give you any sanction, it's just going to give you feedback, and you need to have it done. So don't wait until May 15 to start working. Start working now, because we have a lot of entities to audit. You saw less than 50% of the entities are with a compliance system. So the auditor will have to sit and check ECB audit check by ECB audit check and report by report and all of those things. So it will take a while, and you need to have all of this by May 30. This is not something for ICB, guys, something for you, because after IC, this system will be in place and your entity can be freezed just by not having this. So take care of how these things are going. Once again, your ECB is the main responsible for the audit system, and you have your auditors, and you also have me. So just feel free to reach me at any point. Really, it's fine, and have a look on this part of the website. You just need to go International Control Board, and then you go for materials and audit and compliance. And if by some, like now it's not requesting passwords to me because I use this website way too frequent, but if it's asking you a password, is ISEC in ICB. I will type the password in here. ISEC in ICB, and that's it. There is any question, guys, that you have right now that you think I can help you with? I will check that folder. How many copies do?
I would have another question.
Okay.
Yeah, basically it would be about the JD form, and because I just had a working space before this session, and we were working on this document as it's connecting to like 3-4 standards. And the question would be that from SE side we get as an input that to fill another document, to fill these standards, because they are already having one. But yeah, it's just kind of tricky. So let's say they are having, and do they need to fill it like as a document to sign it and also like to answer the question, or could they include in the monthly tracking mail, like for example on GT, and to have answers on the mail from the EP? So is it still okay? Can we accept it?
Yes.
Or do we need the signature as well? No?
No, it can be accepted
Cool.
if it's coming from the EP's mail. And that's it. Because like, once again, like we are giving you suggestions, but what it matters is that you are able to identify that these violations didn't happen. And if you can prove that with this email from the EP, then it's fine.
Yes, cool, great. And if there would be any further complaint, then we can check with interviews to make sure that really the mail come from the EP. So in this case, the system can work proper, yes?
Yes, it works. Just remember that for the interviews, when you conduct an interview, it should be not like, I mean, it should be a conversation, of course, but you need to have goals for this interview. So what you want to identify, and you need to evaluate all of that questions, because maybe your interviewed people will ask you the interview input, and you should provide it and with notes and qualifications and with everything.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. And just one more thing to highlight, because this was something that they don't want to accept, that why the EP cannot fill working hours and duration in the start of the experience. And I was telling them that how can you ensure that really happens by the reality, the working hours and everything. So this is something that then I can highlight for them, that only, so ICB is suggesting that on the middle of the experience needs to be filled once and at the end of the experience, and it has the cause why we need to fill there. And for further information, then they can ask for consultancy to understand better, yeah?
Yes.
Cool, great, thank you for everything.
Cool. We are almost coming to the end of our... Bless you, I think. And if you have any question, you can raise your hand, because I am going to play a song while the people... Okay, go, General.
I hope I'm not a burden on you today.
No. Go, it's fine.
So since right now, the 80% are fulfilled and everything, like I want to focus on the education cycle for the LC and MC if possible. But the thing is, I don't really know how to implement the full education. So like I was hoping if we can, like, not now, like if maybe later, like I can have with you, like I don't know if you provide these or someone else, but like if you can like give me a session about how can we implement something like this, like the best way to have it as perfect as it can be.
Okay, so the first thing is that the education booklet, or the first step of the educational cycle, it's one of the extra miles.
Yeah.
And it has some requirements that are the ones that I am showing in my screen. Okay. Your education booklet should include, but not be limited to, explanation of the purpose of the booklet, the compliance metric explanation, audit proofs to upload, and timeline of the LCs for uploading the proofs, and timeline of the ECB to audit, information management system, scoring and sanctions, and the ECB contact information. In the template that I shared with you, there is also a tab for extra miles, so you can have a look at it and start mapping it. My suggestion for this is create this booklet, downscale it, and then in synergy with your MCPM or whoever handles the education cycle in your entity, assign a call with the entity. You can, it depends on you, like how strong is your entity to receive educational cycles or not. You can make it by regions, you can make it by LC, so you will have, like, I don't know, an LC meeting and you attend to this space to align with everything. You can settle a call with the BOP, that is the board of LCPs, and with your MC, and you explain the cycle to them. You can make an academy so you know that they are onboarded with this. Those are kind of strategies that you can use to educate your membership about the audit system. But the person that can help you the most while implementing an educational cycle is your cluster coach from BD. Do you know who is your cluster coach?
Yeah, of course, yeah, Sue.
Yeah. So you can talk with Sue, with Sohai, to see how you can design or implement something very effective. But the first thing is to have this booklet done and the entity aware of this system.
Okay, and if there is no someone in the MC who is responsible for the education, okay, there is not someone in charge of this position right now. Can I like ask the LC for a meeting, or like do I have to go through the MC so that the MC have a meeting with them, like invite them to a meeting, or like can I do it directly, or like do I have to go through them?
If you don't have a person responsible, you can reach the LC directly, but it will be good if you talk with your MC so they can align, I don't know, a Facebook post or an Instagram post showcasing that. Which PPT? Oh,
Yeah.
and about the audit minimums. Oh, wait, it's because I saw Viola's tax and I got distracted. I was saying that talk to your entity, and because they can showcase your educational cycle. If there is no one responsible, you can reach directly the entity, but I guess it will be better if you do it through the MC so you can have more people.
Yeah, usually I do that. Yeah, but like sometimes it takes some time, like longer times, like Okay, it's fine now. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you are going to have all of this in the output. I think the output will be launched. No, the output will be launched after VICO ends. So on day probably what will be day 6, because we only have 5 days, and you are going to receive all of that. I will going to send you anyway through here to you all, because I know Viola is asking, but maybe it can work for you. The ones for -80, and there in the template you have the folder. And in this folder, there is this template. And here you have the minimums and the extra miles together. So once you have everything done, you can start working in the other one. And remember that, for example, if your choice of what you are doing is not into the options, then it's wrong. And you need to adjust it. Or, for example, here, only ECB auditing, only NST, not only NST, but NST auditing and giving you a report, or MC audit and giving you a report. And what this report should contain, the violation status and the findings that they had. Because once again, the responsible to audit is you as ECB, and who is going to give sanctions is you as ECB, not the MC. They can give sanctions, but not about auditing. This is your job. Okay, so I think that the time has come. Let me stop sharing, and wait, I opened. I need to close them. I will go to the other room to say that they can come back here, and I will be back in a minute with all of them. Okay.
Yes, sure. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. Everyone is coming right now. We're going to have a break. So just let's wait for them all to come at any moment. Yeah, they already arrived. I will play a song because I like music.